people love to attach themselves to an unarguable evil. Like we can all. That's why everybody bash on Hitler, because no one's going to defend him, right? It's like, well, yeah, you can feel good, get a good pat on the back to kick a dead horse, basically, because what he's dead, he's gone. What are you talking about Hitler for? Like, we got we've got equivalents around today, right? It's the U.S. government that's killed millions of people after World War II, and tortured people and flipped countries upside down and aided terrorists and all that. That's us. We are him. But no, you're right. Like, I think the new generation has the advantage of being able to see the censorship and be able to, even if it's just Rumble, whatever. We just need one thing to break the monopoly. They go, I'm not going to fall for that. When you find someone that's been censored, especially if they've been censored and defamed, we hear stuff, all this defamation about people. Let's say there's somebody that got accused of human trafficking and rape right after being censored on every platform. It's like, you tried to censor them on everything. That didn't work because their stuff still pops up everywhere. So what do? You just make something up and go arrest them.
What's your
Then
opinion
you should
about
scratch your head.
What's your opinion about Andrew Tate and that message and everything going on? I'm obviously you think he's innocent. I agree, but do you think that he
Well, I
was?
think I'm going to presume innocence until proven guilty, right? Which we're supposed to do. I don't know if he's guilty of money laundering or something, maybe. But the other charges, I just don't see it. I'm like, nah, not. I've investigated actual human traffickers and pedophiles and stuff, and neither him or his brother fit that profile. Could be, but prove it. You should not accuse somebody of something so horrible unless you've got some locked dead evidence, right? And the fact that they got censored on everything first was a huge warning. Like, they never got censored for bashing feminism. It's when they started talking about the clock shot in Ukraine and getting political that they're
Climate
like, hey,
change.
shut these climate change. Yeah, they were like, shut them down, right? Because they got political.
Right.
If they just stuck to, hit the gym, try to earn money, don't be a whore, whatever,
They would have been fine.
that would have been criticized, but it would have been fine. He wouldn't have been censored. Definitely wouldn't be in jail. But even if they are engaged in this stuff, that's not why they got arrested. Because there's lots of people that openly actually like engage in human traffic and groom little girls and stuff, and they get left alone. The reason they've been targeted is because of their political opinions. And again, I'm not saying they are guilty of that stuff. I'm saying even if they were, they would have been left alone because our Congress doesn't care. Look at the FBI. They were all over Twitter. We found out from Twitter files they were FBI employees working at Twitter, and Twitter had 290,000 people engaged in child porn and sharing kitty fiddling tapes of little babies getting abused, fingered in the butt and stuff, and all just the gross stuff you can imagine. Raping little kids, raping little babies, torturing that you don't even want to know. And Elon Musk gets in there within 10 days, boom, closes down all those accounts, shuts it down. Now, I find it impossible for the FBI to have been working at Twitter and not seeing all the pedophilia all over Twitter. But the head of trust and safety, Yoel Roth, was himself in agreement with pedophilia. He wrote a dissertation in college about how children ought to be able to use Grindr, which is a homosexual dating app for adults. Children should not be on dating apps with adults, gay or straight. But that's what he wanted. So that's, you got the wolf in the hen house. And all these FBI employees did nothing about it, which means because they're not concerned about it. They don't really care about actual human trafficking or stopping pedophilia, grooming, or any of that, because they use that as a weapon themselves. And so if they're going after the Tates, it's like, oh, the U.S. Embassy got called. Like, what's your real motivation? It's because they had such outreach and they started talking about real issues. Like, imagine if I got on that show. Like, which I could. Them. They could have happened tomorrow, right? Whew, that would flip shit upside down, right? So it's like, gotta get rid of him, right? It's why they punished Kanye so hard for a misspelling in a tweet. He was obviously trying to say DEFCON, not DEathCon. DEathCon's not even a word, right? He just made a misspelling, and they canceled his everything. They canceled his bank. They didn't even cancel Jeffrey Epstein's bank. His Deutsche Bank account is still moving money around. Aaron Endike and his lawyers and stuff are still moving money around. Glenn Maxwell's getting an interview with some BBC people. We can't interview Julian Assange. We're going to interview Glenn Maxwell, a serial child rapist and human trafficker who's already been convicted and sitting in prison. Okay. Sam Bankman-Fried is out on bail after losing $32 billion, charges money laundering, da-da-da-da-da-da. Must be nice to be part of the privileged class. So I don't think the motivation to go after the Tates has anything to do with
the trafficking.
If someone said, "Oh, sure, I'm 18. Oh shit, she's 17." Whatever, something like that. I don't see it. They had plenty of money doing legal. You can call it sketchy and stuff, but it's not illegal. What they did, they had a business for a while, cam girls or whatever, which is not illegal, and some people enjoy that. Whatever. I used to shit on simps, but I feel sorry for them. Like, man, you're fat or maybe you're handicapped or whatever. That's the best you're gonna do is a girl on a camera. Let them have it. Like, just let them enjoy that. Who cares? Doesn't hurt me. But I don't like the business, to be honest. But I'm starting to increasingly have more sympathy for the guys that engage in that, because they're really just depressed and don't see a way out.
They're lonely. Yeah, and that's the rise of
lonely.
It's a perfect example of you saying if they destroy the minds of the women, then everybody suffers. They've
given their life savings, man. And I'm like, well, you can look at porn for free if you want to. It's not hard to find on the internet.
And they shouldn't watch porn regardless.
They shouldn't do that either. But it's like, if all you needed is to see a naked woman, you don't have to pay any money. There are people who will buy a cam girl and they're not even engaged in nudity or porn. They just want to talk to them or play video games with them or just have a friend. Like, they're buying friends. It's so sad. I want to help all this. I'm like, God, man, but they live in a scenario where it's like they're constantly judged if you use the wrong pronoun or say the wrong. It's just Karen's culture, and I'm like, wow. No wonder you'll pay to have someone pretend to be kind, sweet, nurturing, caring because they don't exist in your bubble.
Yeah, in the Me Too movement, guys are afraid of getting caught in some scandal. Everyone gets in trouble. Every single influencer my age, any male influencer gets.
You need a contract before you have sex.
You need an NDA for a kiss. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not over here. Like, East Asia isn't like that. Women are still feminine, men are masculine, don't have those problems.
I'm jealous.
So. All you need is an airplane ticket. I'll show you around. You would love Japan.
I haven't been yet. I have one last question. I do have to get going on Fresh and Fit. I'm co-hosting. I do want to get you on again this week. This is I feel like we can talk for hours, and my chat really appreciated this. But what's your advice because everything you said I agree with, and cool. I have a harder time articulating it. But it sounds so obvious when you say it right now. You talk about everything that I talk about on stream. How do I get through to people? And we've debated a lot of the same people. Like, how do you get through to people that adamantly want to believe in the powers that be, in the system that we're in so much? How do you get through to them and simply explain that, of course, they want us to be slaves. Of course, they want us to be controlled. Of course, they don't have our best interests in mind.
Here's an interesting or kind of strange answer. You can try to give them all the information and all that, but I don't think people cling to bad ideas necessarily because they lack intelligence or something. I think it's more of a psychological issue than it is an intelligence issue. And there's correlation, this is just correlation, but like, people who lift weights and work out and stuff, their political spectrum shifts to the right. It's like when someone improves their life and they're not so filled with resentment and hate, they're able to see more clearly. Like, they want to cling to all these groups. If you've ever read the manifesto about industrial societies, it's the Unabomber manifesto. And yes, I know what he did, and screw him for that. But what he wrote is so eye-opening about the psychology of leftists. And that's where you have to unpeel the layers, because whatever you say, It just they're on pure heuristic mode because they've identified with this victim group and they're stuck on it for all these psychological reasons. That's the part you got to fix, and they just need to improve their life. A lot of people, I see them just raging out online. I know you thought this too. You're like, man, that guy needs to get laid. It would fix him. Like, a lot of people just
need to go
to pee.
outside. They need to go get in the gym. They need to get some sun.
You got to fix women. Like, if there's a direct correlation too with, like, the fatter the women are, the more violent the country is. That's a funny thing, you know. I think you saw my graph about the longer the eyelash, the more delusional. But for real, like, real fat, if women are fat, the men are violent. Like, you look at the murder rates and all that. Like, where are women really skinny? It's Japan, Korea. Like, what's the murder rate here? I don't think Abe is the last person that got shot in Nara, and we hadn't had a homicide, not only with a gun at all, in our prefecture since 2015. Right? Like, no state can boast that in the United States. But we have beautiful women and feminine women. Like, you gotta fix the girls to fix everything else. Everything else unzips when you get rid of feminists.
Well, I'm about to go try and do that on a panel full of girls. I don't know if you've seen Fresh and Fit.
I have. Is it Myron on there?
Yeah.
Is that his
yeah.
name? Yep, I've seen it. Well, I see in TikTok, the short ones.
You're on TikTok?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can never get more than I can't put any of my videos on there without getting banned.
Yeah,
so I just sit and watch them, because if I put something up, I'm going right away. But yeah, I'll share with you the current one I have. It'll be a common.
I don't use TikTok. I'm afraid of surveillance, and I don't want the CCP to be.
I agree. Like, well, they don't. The TikTok in Asia is different than the U.S. I don't get all the dancing heinies and stuff. Like, I'm over here, it's mostly like videos about engineering and stuff. I got a lot of astrophysics on my TikTok. I'm learning about, because my kids are real interested in the solar system, and so it's all in my feed, learning about different moons and stuff.
Mine is just I download it and it's just teenage girls twerking, and I uninstall it.
Well, unfortunate, but I have seen Fresh and Fit on there from, I guess, maybe I clicked a link to that, but I enjoyed watching that. I was friends with Kevin Samuels before he passed away.
Do you think he was assassinated?
No, I think he had to take the vaccine to travel, and it caught up to him.
Wow.
He was in his 50s and in pretty good shape, and he was actually in the act when he passed away.
Right.
And with a nurse, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a heart problem, and now we're seeing a lot of people with heart problems, and he would have had to have taken that, because he traveled around everywhere, and you weren't allowed at first. You know, you needed a vaccine passport. And I think he was another victim of a coincidence.
Oh, Ryan,
sad.
What's your Twitter? What's your website is ancreport.com, and your reinstated Twitter is what?
It's Rye Liberty. RY Liberty. Yep. All one word. That's my Twitter. I'm already causing a storm over there. And then, yeah, my website has links to all the other stuff, Substack, Rumble, Odyssey, and so on. So we got a Telegram. Everything's on ancreport.com. That's where you can find our stuff. Our work on 9/11, Epstein, RFK, JFK, all the taboo stuff you're not allowed to talk about. But I'll let you get on Fresh and Fit. I don't want to make you late, but yeah, I'll probably tune into that, actually. So
it was great to have you on. I would love to have you on again. I think there's so much more that I want to ask you about. And if you're free sometime this week or next week, I think it'd be good, because everything you're talking about, I think, is really necessary to hear with the next generation. And that's definitely my demographic. And I appreciate the work you do.
Excellent, man. Well, I'll be here. Hit me up on Twitter. I have a Discord now. I had to make a new name just to do this show.
Well, if you get banned again, make another one, and we can talk again.
Yeah, we'll just keep doing whack-a-mole. I'm good at that game. I'm a black belt in avoiding censorship now.
Okay.
Take it easy, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Ryan Dawson, man, great interview.